There's one type of man 99% of women can't resist. And no, it's not the rich guy, not the bad boy, and definitely not the nice guy. If you're about to click away, don't. Because if you stay till the end of this video, you'll learn a truth about attraction that even most women don't consciously realize themselves. Let's get into it. Now listen closely, because what you're about to hear isn't in dating books, it's not on podcasts, and it sure as hell isn't what your friends are telling you. But the men who get this, who understand this one truth, they're the ones women daydream about when no one's watching. Most of you will click away in the next 10 seconds. But those who stay? You're about to hear what 99% of men will never figure out on their own. And if you want to go even deeper, into the stuff I can't say publicly, I've opened the members-only room. It's raw, it's unfiltered, it's where the real game begins. Link in the description below. Now, let's begin. Sign 1. The man who doesn't flinch. The one who doesn't need her approval. You know who she can't resist? It's not the man who's nice. It's not the man who's rich. It's the man who doesn't flinch. Let me explain. There's a specific kind of man who gives off a powerful energy, not because he's arrogant, but because he genuinely doesn't chase validation. And women feel that. It's primal. Imagine this. You're talking to a woman who's used to men adjusting their tone to please her, laughing too hard at her jokes, texting 14 times a day, and then she meets you, the guy who listens without trying to impress. The guy who can disagree and not back down just to keep the peace. That's when her brain short-circuits. Why? Because women are wired to respect men who move through life like they don't need permission to exist. The man who isn't afraid to walk away, who can take a step back and say, "This isn't for me," even if she's beautiful, intelligent, and charming. That man triggers something deep inside her. You become the exception. A real story. One of my clients, Mike, regular dude, software engineer, kinda quiet, told me about a girl he met at a tech mixer. Stunning. Every guy in the room orbiting her. She walked up to him, and you know what he did? He yawned. Not rudely, just casually, because he was tired. That was it. She was hooked for months. That's what happens when you're the man who doesn't flinch. You don't panic when she takes too long to reply. You don't care if she cancels plans. You don't beg for attention. And ironically, that's what gets her attention. Because women don't obsess over the men who chase them, they obsess over the men they can't figure out. Sign 2. The mirror. He reflects. He doesn't perform. Have you ever met someone who just sees you? Not in a creepy, staring way, but in a way that makes you feel like you're not being judged or tested. That's the second type of man women can't resist. The one who reflects her world back to her instead of performing in his. Let me break that down. Most men perform for women. They talk about their car, their achievements, their muscles. It's like they're auditioning for a role she didn't even ask them to play. But then there's the man who's a mirror. He listens, really listens. When she talks about her goals, he doesn't try to one-up her. When she shares her pain, he doesn't try to fix her. He simply reflects what she's saying. He's present. It's unnerving, in the best way. Why? Because women live in a world where they're constantly being sold to, by men, by media, by society. And when they meet someone who's not selling, it feels like oxygen. Here's an example. A woman tells you she's been working 14-hour days chasing a promotion. A performer would say, "Oh yeah? I run my own business 16 hours a day, no breaks." He's trying to win. The mirror says, "Sounds exhausting. Do you feel like it's worth it?" Boom! That's not just a question. That's intimacy. You've touched something deep in her. You've seen her beyond the surface. Now, this doesn't mean you agree with everything she says. It means you respond, not react. You reflect, not to manipulate, but because you don't need to dominate the space. She begins to feel safe. And here's the truth. When a woman feels safe with a man, everything changes. Suddenly she's texting you first. She's rereading your messages. She's trying to decode you, because now you're the mystery. You're not just a guy, you're an experience. Sign 3. The storm in his calm. He's still, but he's not soft. This one's dangerous, in a good way. There's a man who walks into a room and no one hears him. He's not loud, he's not flashy, but women notice. They don't know why, they just feel it. It's because he carries tension, controlled chaos, a storm beneath still waters. He's calm, but not soft. There's a quiet intensity about him, and women sense it. It's in the way he holds eye contact just a second longer. It's in the way he doesn't explain himself too much. It's in the way he doesn't try to fix her emotions. He just lets her feel them. This man might say 5 words in a conversation, but each one lands like a punch. And the crazy part? He could be a barista or a billionaire. It doesn't matter, because what women are responding to is his center. He's grounded, solid. He knows who he is. She leans in, curious. She pokes, she tests. But he doesn't budge, he doesn't fold. It's not cockiness, it's certainty. A quote from Marcus Aurelius comes to mind. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. And that's exactly what she senses. This man has retreated inward. He's done the work. He doesn't need anyone to complete him. So when she enters his world, it feels like stepping into a powerful silence. And that silence makes her loud inside. Her heart races. Her mind spirals. What is it about him? She asks herself. But she'll never fully know. And that is why she keeps coming back. Sign 4. The man who knows when to walk away. There's a strange, almost haunting power in the man who isn't afraid to leave. Not ghosting, not flaking, not playing hard to get like some immature punk. I'm talking about the man who calmly, silently and confidently removes himself the moment he sees something isn't right. You've seen this guy before, maybe in a movie, maybe in real life. He's the one sitting across from a woman at a table. She tests him, teases him, tries to stir drama. He doesn't argue. He just smiles, gets up, and leaves. And here's the twist. It drives her mad. Not because he was rude, not because he stormed off, but because he didn't need her approval. This type of man is rare, and 99% of women will tell you they've never met someone like that in real life. But when they do, oh, they remember him forever. You see, most guys chase, over-explain, try to prove themselves. They try to win her over even when it's clear she's not matching the effort. But this man, he knows the price of peace. He doesn't beg. He doesn't compete. Let me drop a quote on you from Robert Greene. The ability to leave without looking back is a power few possess and everyone respects. So how do you become that guy? It's simple, but not easy. You have to master detachment. You have to love yourself enough to never allow anyone to treat you like a backup plan, a placeholder, or an option. And when a woman realizes that you will walk away, she stops testing you. She starts chasing, because now your time means something. It has value. One guy told me a story that sums this up perfectly. He was dating a girl who kept texting other guys as friends and making excuses. So instead of confronting her with drama, he said, "Hey, you're free to do whatever you want, but I'm not the guy who waits around while someone figures out if I'm worth it." She laughed at first, said he was overreacting. He smiled, deleted her number, and went silent. 2 weeks later, She was in his DMs, saying she missed him, messed up, and wanted to talk. But by then, he'd already moved on. And that is how you leave a lasting impression. That's how you make her regret losing you, not with manipulation, but with unshakable standards. Sign 5. The man who makes her feel like the only woman in the room, but doesn't say a word. Here's something weird about women. They don't always fall for what you say. They fall for how you make them feel. And the man who can lock eyes across a crowded room and make her heart race without a single word, that man owns something even money can't buy. Presence, not fake confidence, not flashy charm. I'm talking about calm, grounded energy that makes a woman feel seen, truly seen, like she's the only one in your world for that one moment. You don't even need a pickup line. You don't need to flex. In fact, silence becomes your secret weapon. A story from a woman on Reddit said it best. She was at a party, surrounded by people, but she kept noticing this one guy. Clean, sharp, but quiet. Every time she glanced at him, he didn't look away like the others. He held the eye contact. Confident, playful, but not creepy. Eventually, she walked over to him. She started the conversation. Her words, "You looked like you didn't need anyone, but I wanted to be the one you wanted." Boom. That's the whole game right there. He made her feel desired, not chased. He didn't come off needy. He didn't broadcast thirst. And because he held his power, she stepped into his world. Women are drawn to men who make them feel special without making themselves small, who lift them up without putting themselves down, who remain mysterious in a world full of oversharers and validation seekers. This kind of presence makes women fantasize. It lingers in their mind long after the interaction ends. So next time you walk into a room, don't try too hard. Don't chase attention. Be intentional. Be still. Let your energy speak before your words do. Because when you become that rare guy who makes her feel wanted, not won, she'll crave you long after she walks away. Sign 6. The man who turns his pain into power, and she can sense it. Here's a wild truth most men ignore. Women are unbelievably good at sensing emotional strength. No, not the tough guy, I never cry type. That's a mask. I mean the man who's been through hell, faced his demons, and came out wiser, not bitter. This is the man who doesn't hide his scars. He wears them like armor, not for sympathy, not to brag, but because he owns his story. Let's make this real with a quote from Carl Jung. "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Women are wired to seek protection, not just physical, but emotional too. And when they meet a man who has battled through chaos, heartbreak, betrayal, and emerged with clarity and calm, they feel safe. Why? Because this man isn't reactive. He doesn't get triggered easily. He doesn't play petty games. His calm isn't fake. It's earned. I once knew a guy who had been cheated on by the love of his life, destroyed him, but instead of turning bitter, he got serious. He read, trained, traveled, found mentors. When he started dating again, women noticed something strange about him. He listened more. He wasn't clingy. He didn't flinch at red flags. And he had this "you can't shake me" vibe that drove women wild. He told me once, "The worst thing that happened to me became the best, because now I walk with depth, and women feel that even before I open my mouth." Pain turned into power. Loss turned into leadership. And that kind of transformation makes a man magnetic. If you've been through heartbreak, betrayal, disappointment, don't bury it. Use it. Refine it. Grow from it. Because the man who walks with emotional gravity, who radiates calm wisdom, he doesn't just attract women, he inspires them. And that's the man 99% of women can't forget. you've made it to the end. And that already separates you from the average man. Because most guys, they click away, chase shortcuts, and never understand what really moves a woman on a deeper level. But you're not just looking to attract, you're here to understand, to elevate, to master your own energy so deeply that women feel drawn to you, not because of some line or trick, but because of who you've become. So now the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? You've just unlocked the truth about the type of man 99% of women fall for. But this isn't about pretending or playing games. This is about embodying the traits that make you unforgettable. Start walking like you own your story. Speak like your words carry weight. Move like a man who knows he doesn't have to chase. Because the right ones always notice. And if you're serious about leveling up, not just in dating but in life, then don't forget to subscribe. This is the channel where we cut through the noise. No fluff, no sugarcoating, just raw, real insight backed by stoic strength. Drop a comment below. Tell me which type of man you're becoming, or already are. Until next time, remember this. A lion doesn't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. Be the lion. Wait before you go. What I just shared in this video, that's barely scratching the surface. If you're the kind of man who wants to go deeper, to master the unspoken dynamics of attraction, confidence, and control, then I'm personally inviting you into something most men will never see. The Stoic Inner Circle, members-only room. Inside you'll get uncensored strategies I can't share publicly, psychological breakdowns of female behavior that'll make you 10 times smarter in every interaction, weekly members-only videos, voice notes, and deep dive breakdowns.